Let me say something uncomfortable. You don't struggle with discipline. You struggle the moment your reasons stop feeling good. And that moment is destroying your progress. Because when logic disappears, most people disappear with it. Let me say something that might annoy you a little. You don't actually have a discipline problem. You have a clarity addiction. You perform well when the plan makes sense. The outcome feels rewarding. The motivation is present. But the second life becomes unclear, you stall. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. You don't stop because you're lazy. You stop because your logic stopped cooperating. And if that stings a little, good. Because that's exactly where Miyamoto Musashi built his advantage. Most modern discipline advice says, set clear goals, understand your why, visualize success. That works, until it doesn't. Because eventually, the goal feels far away, the why feels weak, the reward feels abstract, the excitement disappears, and suddenly you're staring at the thing you know you should do. And you just don't. Not dramatically, not emotionally. You just hesitate. And hesitation feels harmless. But Musashi would have considered hesitation more dangerous than incompetence. Because incompetence can improve. Hesitation compounds. In the Book of Five Rings, Musashi talks about 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and void. Most people hear void and imagine candles and meditation music. That's not what he meant. The void isn't spiritual fog. It's what's left when technique fails, plans collapse, overthinking stops being useful. The void is action without needing reassurance. Not reckless action, clean action, movement that doesn't require emotional approval. Let's be honest. We don't delay impossible tasks. We delay uncomfortable ones. Nobody procrastinates checking their phone. Nobody hesitates before opening Netflix. Nobody needs motivation to eat. We hesitate when the task challenges our identity. That's the real tension. You're not debating effort. You're debating who you are. Most people operate like this. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll act when I feel confident. I'll train when I feel focused. Translation: I need good emotional weather. But emotional weather changes hourly. Musashi trained in rain, in cold, in fatigue, in uncertainty. Not because he enjoyed suffering, because he refused to depend on conditions. If your discipline requires perfect conditions, it's not discipline, it's preference. And preference collapses the moment things get inconvenient. Here's the hidden addiction. You don't need logic. You need logic you like. If the reason feels inspiring, you act. If the reason feels boring, you stall. But life isn't designed around what feels inspiring. Sometimes you act because not acting costs more. Musashi didn't ask, "Do I feel motivated?" He asked, "What does someone on this path do next?" And then he did that. No inner committee meeting. No emotional vote. Just action. There's a very specific moment you've experienced. You know what to do. You know it matters. You even know it's simple. But then your brain says, maybe tomorrow. Maybe after more research. Maybe when things calm down. That sounds reasonable. That's why it's dangerous. Because hesitation doesn't scream. It whispers. And whispers are harder to detect. Here's where people misunderstand Musashi. The void isn't peaceful. It's stripped down. No excuses. No storytelling. No dramatic self-talk. Just, this is the next action. And then it's done. Not because it feels good. Because it exists. That's it. Western culture loves breakthroughs. Musashi trusted repetition. Think about the workout you keep rescheduling. The conversation you keep postponing. The project you keep refining instead of starting. You don't lack knowledge. You lack decisive movement when certainty fades. And that's where most people lose momentum permanently. not in chaos. In comfort, the void removes justification. You don't get to say, I didn't act because I was tired. I didn't act because I wasn't ready. I didn't act because it wasn't the perfect time. You acted, or you didn't. That level of honesty feels harsh, but it's freeing. Because once you remove the drama, the action becomes obvious. Musashi didn't multitask. He didn't scroll. He didn't compare routines. He didn't consume 15 productivity podcasts. His world was simpler, which made his discipline cleaner. You don't struggle because you're weak. You struggle because you're overstimulated. Too many inputs, too many options, too many reasons. The void eliminates options. There is one next move. Do that. This is where it gets boring. And boring is powerful. The void isn't intense. It's repetitive. Wake up, train, repeat. No speech, no transformation montage, no cinematic soundtrack, just movement. That's why it works. We live in a time where advice is endless, certainty is rare, distraction is constant, which means logic-based discipline is fragile because logic changes, emotion changes, circumstances change, but identity-based action, that survives. Instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? Ask, what is the next move? Then remove commentary. Then move. Not perfectly, not heroically, just cleanly. Here's the truth. You already know what you need to do. You're not confused. You're negotiating. And every negotiation increases distance between you and the action. The void closes the distance. No debate, no delay, just movement. If this felt uncomfortable, good. That means you recognized yourself. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer negotiations. And the next time your brain says, maybe later, you'll know what that is. It's not logic. It's hesitation dressed up as reason. And now you know what to do.